Then first two things you want to do is bring the metallic all the way up and the roughness all the way down. So it's very, very reflective. As you can see, we can see everything. Okay, then what you want to do is go Shift A and type in color ramp. And then what you want to do is change this to HSL. And then what you want to do is click here where it says near. Boom, change it to far. Okay, and then what you want to do is click on the black one. Click here, drag this all the way up. Change it to like a blue. Same thing here with the white, so click on it. And then drag it to blue as well. Same kind of color as you can see, we got all the colors of the rainbow. Okay, and then what you want to do is go Shift A, type in layer, add a layer weight, drag the face in, so connect that to the effects of the color ramp. And then last node, Shift A, type in hue, and add a hue saturation value node. Plug the color of the color ramp into the color of the hue and saturation value node, and the color into the base color. Boom. And now look how cool that's looking. And then you can change this hue, so you can change this, and you can play around with that, find something that you like. But this looks awesome, and it's actually really easy to do. It's like literally 3 nodes, 4 with the BSDF. Click new. Before I show you how to do it, just a reminder that I've got a Patreon, so you can download the materials, download scenes, all for free if you're a member, obviously. So if you pay monthly, but yeah, check it out, link in the description. Okay, then what you want to do is drag this way, so click on this and then go Shift A, type in mix shader, add this there. Okay, then what you want to do is just bring this up and go click on the principal BSDF, go Shift D to make a duplicate, and then plug this into the second shader of the mix shader. And then what you want to do is click here on this one, bring this to like somewhere here, bring the metallic all the way up, bring this roughness down. See, what we're going to do is just bring it up a touch, so we can actually bring it up and get something like that. Nothing really happening obviously, but you'll see we're going to create magic. And then this one, what you want to do is bring the metallic all the way up and then change this color to kind of like a gold color. Okay, and then what you want to do is bring this here, bring this mix shader up, and then go Shift A, type in color, add a color ramp, just put this over here. Then what you want to do is go Shift A, get a Vidiq texture, that there, and then get a noise texture. So Shift A, type in noise, put that there, and then plug the color of Vidiq into the vector of the noise texture, and the color into the vector of the color ramp, and the color of the color ramp into the vector of the mix shader. And then what you want is you want to go here to F2, change this to smooth F1, and then change this to Cherry Chef. That's how you say it. And what you can do is play with this, so bring this in. And you can see we're starting to get something pretty cool. And what you can do is you can play with the scale. You find something that you like. It's here. Detail you can bring up. Scale of this you can also bring up. Bring it down. And the detail you can bring up. That changes this. So what you want to do is actually bring it down all the way. And then what you want to do is go Shift A, type in bump, and then you want to take the color of the color ramp, plug it into the height of the bump node. And then what you want to do is plug the normal of the bump into the normal of the principal BSDF of both. So boom, boom. And what you can do is zoom in, just bring the strength down of the bump. You can see how highly detailed this is, and you can play around with your, so if I zoom in, play around your scale, then you can play with your roughness. It's up, then adjust this, so you find something that you like. So you can see, the more I bring it in, this is just basically controlling how much of the two different colors of these principal BSDFs. And you can change this to this one. You can see it changes the material. Change it to the Cherry Chef, Manhattan, or Minkowski. That actually looks probably the best one, which you can see, and then you can play the scale, which is something interesting, cool. You can then obviously change the color all the way dark. That also looks pretty cool. So you can see just by these couple of nodes you can create something pretty cool. So now go hit new. Okay, so first thing you want to do is go Shift A, type in mix, and add a mix shader. Plug this in between the BSDF and the material output. Then what you want to do is click on the principal BSDF. So click here, just click there, and then go Shift D to duplicate. Put that here, and then you're going to plug this one into the other shader node for the mix shader. Okay, then what you want to do is for the base color, bring this down and bring the roughness down, something like that. So we've got a nice little bit of reflections, shininess on the material. Then for the next one, click here and find whatever color you want. So bring this up, bring this, it's like a red, and then make it darker, something like that. Looks good. And then just bring this roughness up, something like that. Up to you, doesn't have to be exact, but yeah, roughly there. Then what you want to do is go here, bring this up, and go Shift A, type in color ramp, add that there, and then go Shift A again, type in Voronoi, and then go Shift A, type in magic, and get a magic texture. And what you want to do is plug the color to the vector, then this color into the factor of the color ramp, and then color goes into the factor. And look at how cool that's looking. And then what you can do is change the scale to about 1, actually make it about 0.7. Then you want to play with these, so bring this in, bring this in as well, black, something like that. Looks good. And then yeah, with the magic, what you can do is play with this, so you can find something you like. The lower you bring it, the bigger it is. You can see, in the smaller, the higher you bring it, the smaller these become. And then the distortion, that just creates something weird. Bring this down, something like this, and then bring this. That looks pretty cool. So personal preference, you can play around with it. And what's cool about this is that you can always change it whenever you want. So like this, I can show you quickly. You can just change the red, and that's how easy it is. Okay, so let's go back to red, go back here, just showing you for an example. And what you want to do is go Shift A, type in bump, add a bump node, plug the height into the color of the color ramp. And then what you want to do is plug this normal of the bump into the normal of the principal BSDF, and then into the other one as well. You can see we're getting nice kind of detail in the material. Now what you want to do quickly is do this, so drag over them and go Shift D, and just plug this in there, then same thing, bring it here. Then obviously it didn't do the magic, that's easy, just click on it, Shift D, and then take this here, plug the color to the vector. Okay, so you can see there, same thing. And then don't worry about this, but what you can do is take this out and plug the color of this into the height. Okay, doesn't change anything, but you'll see what we'll do now. And then what you want to do is click here on the color ramp and hit flip color ramp. And then what you can do is just reverse these, something like that. Bring this here. This just makes it look a little bit better, more detailed, as you can see. But it's looking pretty cool. And that's basically it. And then what you can do is if I zoom in, you can play with the strength, the bump. So if you bring it all the way down, it's like flat, no detail. All the way up, looks normally quite good. Look how nice it looks. And the last thing you can do is you can bring the metallic up if you want. That's all optional, but that also looks pretty cool. Okay, you can bring this down, or you can make one metallic and one non-metallic, which also looks pretty cool. That makes it look kind of nice and shiny and beautiful. Make sure that your icosphere is selected, hit new, bring this up, and then first thing I'm going to do is bring this metallic all the way up and just adjust the roughness a little bit down, something like that. Looks good. Okay, and then what you want to do is bring this here, and then go Shift A, type in Voronoi, and then with this here, plug the color into the displacement. Okay, and then what you want to do is go Shift A, type in Musgrave, and plug the height into the vector. And then what you can do is play with the scale of this Voronoi texture to bring it down, to bring it to something that you like. This looks good. You can actually just bring it up a bit more. It looks good. Leave it, but you can play around with it, find something that you like. And then what you want to do is click on the Voronoi texture, go Shift D to copy. Same with the Musgrave, Shift D, copy, and then plug the height to the vector and the color to the base color. Now we're getting something weird. And now what you want to do is just bring this here, shift this here, shift this there, and then go Shift A, type in color, find a color ramp, plug it in there. And now what you want to do is click here where it says linear and click constant. And then what you do is you can see if I bring this way, it changes this. And now what you can do is change the color. So click on this white, click here, let's go with like a orange, click on the black, same thing, then bring this up, boom, find like a blue, and then if you want to add a third color, hit plus, click on it, find something else, maybe like a yellow, then shift this here, shift this there, just play around with it till you find something you like. And this is looking pretty cool. If you don't want it to be constant, you can just go back to linear, click here, you can see it kind of eases it, but I think it looks a lot better with it like that. You can see, so you don't need the three colors, you can add a fourth, you can add a fifth. And then the last thing you can do, this looks perfect, but if you want to add like a little bit of roughness, Shift A, type in bump, and then plug the normal to the normal, not to this normal, to this normal. And then go Shift A, type in noise, plug the factor to the height, you scale up, bring the roughness up, bring the strength down, bring the detail up. And this just kind of adds a little bit of detail if you really want. So if I take it out, you can see it's like there's nothing there, it's smooth. If I bring the normal in here, just a little bit of roughness, and bring it in, hit new, and then let's go to viewport shading, click here, boom, boom. Now make sure you're in circles, perfect. Okay, then first thing you want to do is go Shift A, type in brick, add a brick texture, and then go Shift A again, type in noise, add a noise texture, put that there, bring this here, and then plug the brick color to the base color of the principal BSDF, and you're going to plug the color of the noise texture into the vector. Look how cool that's looking already. And then what you can do is you can play with this detail, so you can bring it up, just changes this. So if I do this, changes this, but I'm going to bring it somewhere like that. Looks good. And then just play with the scale, something like that. Looks good. Okay, and then what you want to do is go Shift A, type in color, add a color ramp, and plug this in over there. And all we're going to do is just change the colors. So click here, click on the black, slide this up, then find a color that you like. So let's go with like a yellow, and then the white. Let's bring this down, something like that. And then what you want to do is click here on the plus, so it adds another color, then click on it, go here, bring this up. Now you can change this color. Just find something that you like. The blue, that looks pretty cool. And then what you want to do is go from linear to constant. And then what you want to do is, now you can see we've only got two colors, but just bring this blue to there, and then bring the black to somewhere like that. And look how nice that's looking. And then what you can do is you can Shift D, so you can bring this back, bring this like this. You've got a lot of control. Bring this way, bring this way. Up to you. You can obviously then change the color, so you can change the black, boom, bring this up like that, make it white, completely up to you. Let's make it like proper black. And if you want, you can even add a fourth color. So boom, click on that, boom, make this like a white. Now we've got like 4 colors. Okay, and last thing you want to do, Shift A, type in bump, plug the normal into the normal, and then what you can do, take the color from the brick texture, plug into the height. And we've got like nice looking detail. As you can see, there's a bit more detail in the material. And you can obviously adjust the strength, bring it down if you don't want it. You can make it 0, or you can bring it in slightly, or all the way up. But you can see how nice it looks. Just gives a bit more detail to the material. Boom. Bring this up, just so we've got a bit more space to work with. Okay, then what you want to do is click on Principal BSDF, and then click on it and go Shift D to duplicate. Put that there, and then pretty basic, go Shift A, type in Mix Shader, and then plug this in here, and then plug the BSDF of the second one into that shader, second mix node shader. And then what you want to do is bring the roughness up here, and bring this roughness down a bit, just something like that. And then what you can do is bring this down somewhere like that. Then this one you can make like a blue. Okay, then what you want to do is go Shift A, type in color, add a color ramp, put that there, and then go Shift A, type in noise, add a noise texture, then bring this detail all the way up, then bring this here, and then just click on it, go Shift D, and then Shift D again, then connect the color to the vector, same thing there, color to the vector, and the color into the effect of the color ramp, then plug this color of the color ramp into your mix shader. Okay, you can see we're starting to get something cool now. Now what you want to do is zoom in and just play with your color ramp. Let's bring this in, something like that, and then you can bring in the black just till you find something that you like. It looks pretty cool. And you can see if I take this one off, it doesn't look as good. That's how we've added a few noise textures, because if I do this and bring this back, can see it just adds a bit more detail and it looks better. Now what you want to do is bring this here, bring this here, and bring this here, and go Shift A, type in mix, and add a mix shader again to here. Then what you want to do is go Shift A, type in emission, and then bring this here. Then what you want to do is bring the strength up to about 40, plug the emission into the shader. Then what you want to do is type in Shift A, go color ramp again, put this here, then plug the factor into the color, then plug the color into the mix shader. Then what you can do is play with this. So you play with the black until you start to see some cool looking formations basically. Okay, so I play with this. Nah, it's a bit much. See, something like that looks good. Actually a bit more. Then change this emission color to like a red. Something like that, and bring this and then go Shift A, type in bump, plug this noise into the height of the bump node, and then plug the normal of the bump into the normal of the principal BSDFs, both of them. Now look how cool they're starting to look. Then you can zoom in and then play with the strength until you find something you like. So the lower you bring it, the less bump basically there is. The higher, the more bump, more detail there is. And then if I turn this off, so you can see how cool that actually looks without the H2RI. And this is basically what it looks like. Then you can change the color, but I think the red looks pretty cool, and that's it obviously with full lighting. So you can use it both ways if you want. You can also do a few other things. So you can go here, go your color and bring the metallic up. It doesn't do much, but it just adds a bit of like shininess to the material. So it's personal preference. You can bring this up, then you can bring this down, and it's got more of like a shine to it. You can see, bring it up, less shine. So with this you can create like a few different other kinds of materials just by playing with a few things, color, that kind of stuff. And you can change the blue, you can make it like a green. It's endless. Hit new, let's bring this up a bit more. Okay, first thing you want to do is go Shift A, type in mix, add a mix shader, put this here, and then bring this up, and then click on it. So click here and hit Shift D, duplicate it, and then bring this, plug it in there. Okay, and then what you want to do with it, this one, bring this roughness down just a little bit, change this color, it's like a dark gray. And then this one you can make whatever color you want, so something like this. I'm going to go with a blue. And then both, so this one, bring the metallic up so it's got a nice shine to it. That really looks pretty cool. Okay, next thing you want to do is bring these down here, and then go Shift A, type in color, add a color ramp, plug the color to the factor, and then go Shift A, type in wave, add a wave texture, plug the color into the factor. And then what you want to do, let me just zoom in, go to constant, so change from linear, constant, and then bring this, and you can see we're getting somewhere pretty cool. Okay, now what you want to do is go Shift A, top bump, and then what you want to do is take the color of the color ramp, plug into the height of the bump node, and then what you want to do is plug the normal into the normal of both, and then that's it. And then what you can do is you can change the scale, you can change the distortion if you want, detail you can bring up all the way, and then you can obviously adjust this. And there we go. That's a quick, easy material